Hello there viewers, it's been a while. I've decided to make a video because some pretty big life-altering event happened in my life. For a long time I haven't actually had a lot of inspiration to make Jehovah's Witness related videos. Although I'm working on it, like mentally, like in my mind, you know. Also, maybe in the near future I will be making videos in Dutch. But yeah, I actually want to tell my Jehovah's Witness unrelated story. Also the reason why I'm filming this in bed. Today I want to talk about my sterilization journey. Because that is what happened. Yesterday I got my fallopian tubes removed. And I want to talk about my journey just for future reference, and also maybe as I call it, as a way to blow off steam about it all. I've already mentioned in one of my other videos, one of the last videos I guess, that as a life philosophy, really, I actually am an antinatalist, which means I don't believe in the actually use of extra people being born. I think it's like bad for the environment, and I think we already have enough people on this planet as it is. I've never wanted kids, ever. And I've always had the stance that if I ever were to have my kids, my own kids, I would just adopt them or be a foster parent. But even at this point, I'm not interested in being a parent, really. And I've always imagined it to be kind of cool to be like a cool auntie, or and I don't even mean a blood relative auntie, but I had a lot of experience visiting child-free couples as a teenager, and I have really good memories of that. And actually those were people from the Jehovah's Witness congregation, but it actually doesn't matter though. I mean, I can imagine myself like being 50, 60 years old and having, I don't know, neighborhood teenagers coming over, or my friends' children or whatever, and just be there for them, support them, give them some motherly advice, and just hang out with them, because I think it's very important as a child-free person to have friends of all ages, because everyone's always like, if you don't have children, who will take care of you, and you'll be so lonely when you get old, you will die lonely and alone. And I'm sure that is not the case if you really invest in friendships. And I don't think friendships are only valuable when it's with people your own age. Because at the moment I have friends that are younger, but I also have like friends who are 60 plus, you know, like, and I treat them like cool uncles or aunties, you know. So I'm really happy about having those people in my life, and I can imagine myself at an old age hanging out with younger people. And it's always kind of, for teenagers, it's sometimes better to be around adults that aren't their parents, because there's something about the relationship between children and parents that sometimes makes it hard to talk about certain stuff, because you have to live in the same house. So teenagers might have the need to talk about some personal stuff with people who are more like neutral. As an outsider, you're more approachable. I think it's a very noble position you can have in someone's life, I guess. So even though I never plan, or it's not even possible anymore, to to have my own children. I understand the value of being able to help someone. So I can see myself doing that, but I've never wanted kids of my own. And in September I turned 30, and I decided that I had to make a lot of changes in my life or take certain steps, because I've always been like a very outspoken person about a lot of things. But I decided to put myself out there when it comes to dating. And I actually met this wonderful guy, although we cannot meet yet because he lives in a neighboring country. We're having a lot of contact like every day and having regular video calls. We have so much in common, and I don't know, I guess all of the contact, it goes so well. We can have like video calls that last 8 hours at a time. So it's wholesome all over, and I'm actually super relieved to have found someone who I vibe really well with. And one of the best things is that he is like super child free as well. So he's been like very supportive when it comes to my sterilization. And I'm really thankful for that, really. This whole dating thing with this guy started the 23rd of October of last year. And since then we have been in contact like every day. Every day, no exception. And last year I also decided to do something about the fact that I don't want to have any children. Although I was, and I still am, single at the time, I decided wait a second, is there an English expression for it? As we say in Dutch, add the deed to the word. So if you say something, you should like do something about it, not only talk about it. So I decided I want to make this happen, because I've been thinking about getting sterilized for a very long time, and it was more like an idea, a concept that kind of appealed to me. Even though a lot of people I spoke with were like, do you even have a boyfriend? It's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't need a man in my life in one way or another to decide about my bodily autonomy. I mean, it's my body, and I'm a strong, independent woman. I can make my own decisions. So I was like, yeah, I'm past 30. Why not pursue this maybe a lifelong dream of mine, to not be able to conceive children? I guess in the spring of 2019, quite a while ago, it's maybe kind of TMI, I'm not sure. I got this horrible period, which actually lasted for maybe a week or a couple of days. And I had the feeling I was gonna die. Because it seems like, I don't know, my uterus was dissolving, and I lost a lot of blood, I guess, because I became kind of, well, I don't like to complain a lot, but I was feeling really bad. Could not climb the stairs at home without like being so tired. And I was like, well, we'll stop eventually, no worries there. But it didn't stop, so I had to go to my doctor. And the reason why this happened is because I have been on the birth control pill since I was 19. Actually, to prevent painful periods and to be able to control my periods. Because I have a lot of memories of me being on my period while being on holiday and having the worst cramps. And I mean, it takes all the fun away in life, you know? I mean, I just want to have fun and go swimming and not thinking about like, oh, maybe I'll be on my period and I cannot participate in fun things. And last 3 years I have been practicing aerial silks, and it's very important to me because I love that sport. Because usually you have to take the pill for 3 weeks and have a week where you don't take the pill and you get on your period. And then you have to, after the week, you have to take it again, for those who don't understand how birth control pills work. And I was like, I'm just not gonna have a week off. I'm just gonna take the pill all the time. I mean, I don't hate being a woman, but the fact that I had to, my body works like that I have to like bleed once a month, it made me kind of feel that my body was betraying me, so to say. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like billions of women have the same thing. It's not weird or taboo or whatever, but I hated it. I was like, I don't need this. I don't want children, so I also don't need to know I'm fertile. I was at the GP and I told him, like, I'm taking my birth control pills like all the time because I hate having a period and it bothers me. I just want to be able to work out whenever I want because it gives me so much satisfaction and I love it. I don't want to stay at home just because there's blood coming out of my JJ, you know. So he gave me a different birth control pill that was actually very suitable for like taking all the time and not having to have a week off. And I was like, why didn't I get this one in the first place? What the fuck? Taking hormones every day, it's probably not that good for your body, really. And me being single, it actually doesn't matter if I take it or not, except for the fact that I just don't want to be on my period because I hate it. But at some point I just decided, you know, it's time to get sterilized. And I was kind of afraid that my GP would be kind of weird about it, because when I came to him with this whole issue with the period and the terrible blood loss thing, and I asked my GP, like, why can't I get sterilized and have my uterus taken out? And he was like, kind of, yeah, well, maybe we can talk about that in the future. So I had the feeling he didn't take me seriously, really. But when I turned 30, I was like, yeah, what the hell? So I was like, yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna call my GP then. And I got the assistant on the phone and I was like, I want to get sterilized and I need a referral to the hospital to talk with a OB/GYN. And I don't think the doctor will take me really seriously, but I really have no energy to have a discussion or whatever, so I need this referral now. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to the doctor about it. And in half an hour I got my referral. It was like crazy. I didn't expect it, but I was so hyped. And that was, I guess, in the beginning of October. So if people try to tell me like, yeah, you were influenced by this guy, I was not influenced by any guy. Because the guy I'm talking to right now, or actually online dating, I got to know him at the end of October. So I didn't know him then. So this was all my doing. And I had to wait to, for the hospital to call me for an appointment. But so I didn't hear anything from the hospital for a while. So I called them myself. Like, I want to get this over with as soon as possible. I don't hear anything from you guys, so I decided to call. And they were like, well, okay, you can come in January. Not sure what date it was. At the beginning of January, I had my first appointment. So I fixed the right insurance that would cover a sterilization. So I'm like, I'm prepared for that. And if I get turned down, well, total bummer. But I would definitely go to a different hospital and ask them if they can do the procedure anyway. So I had my first appointment and I was like super sure about it all. And of course they had to talk me through all the risks and all the horror stories that stuff could go wrong. Like they could, like damage other organs, like I call it my bowels, or my bladder or urethra. There can be heavy bleeding and other stuff. And of course, I was like terrified, but I've already prepared a lot for this. I've read a lot of stories, experiences. So I knew what to expect, but the thought of getting sterilized and me being left injured really badly, I mean, it terrified me, but it didn't make me want to back out of it, because I was like super, super sure, because I never want any kids. And of course the doctor had to say, well, you know, you're very young and you might change your mind. Maybe not now, but maybe if you meet someone who wants kids, then you might change your mind, because maybe you haven't met the right guy. As much as I would love someone who is a significant other, and it would turn out that he would like to have kids, it would be like freaking sad, but I would have to let that person go, because I'm not gonna give in to satisfy someone's needs to become a parent and just, I guess, betray everything I stand for. I already knew if I meet the guy of my dreams, he at least doesn't want children, or else he isn't the guy of my dreams. She asked me, have you ever been pregnant? I was like, no, I've never been pregnant. Because that can also lead to, I mean, some traumatic experiences of having been pregnant, having to go through an abortion, or having a miscarriage, can also lead to people not wanting kids or being afraid to have kids. But yeah, so we had the talk, and afterwards I was like, damn it. I should have asked and told so many stuff. I just forgot at the moment of the conversation. But she was like, we're gonna talk this through in our team of gynecologists, and in a month you can make another appointment and talk to another gynecologist. And I was like, I'm just being like treated like a child. But on the other hand, I could understand it, because I mean, people might change their mind. Maybe they're like, it's not worth the risk, I'm too afraid. That might happen, because she asked me what kind of procedure I wanted to have, because there are different things that can be done. You can have some clips put on your fallopian tubes. You can have them actually, you can get a little piece cut out, or you can remove them like totally. I was like, yeah, they can be removed like totally. I want the method that is most reliable and irreversible, because I never ever want to have kids, nor do I want to worry about a possible pregnancy. The next month, we're already in February then, the gynecologist that was supposed to call me, and she was like, yeah, we talked it through with the team, and we agreed that you can have your sterilization. I was super hyped. I got to ask a lot of questions, got a lot of answers, which left me very satisfied. And this was a female gynecologist, and I wasn't really sure at that time, but she turned out to be the person who would do the procedure. She was like, well, you know, we cannot give you any certainty when this procedure will be done, because we're kind of understaffed. I had to be on the waiting list. That was actually what this was all about. And I was like, no problem. As long as I have the green light, it's okay. It's fine. Thank you so very much. I'm really hyped. That was the 4th of February, I guess. A list was sent to me with an appointment for a pre-operation, I don't know, a screening before getting a procedure done. So I filled out the form with the 70 questions or whatever. They're being really thorough, though. Fast forward to, let's say, the 2nd of March, I got a call, and it was like the hospital, like the people who were planning the procedures. They were like, we have a possibility for you to get sterilized because a spot fell through. I don't know if that's the expression. And he said, yeah, it's next Tuesday. Are you able to come? And I was like, what? That's really quick, to be honest. So I was kind of in a panic. So I was like, I'm gonna make some calls and then I'll get back to you. Is that okay? That was okay. So in a hurry, I just called up my manager from work and the people who are doing the planning. And at the moment we're now working on full capacity in the library where I work. So it's kind of, it was fine for me to take off the week. And everyone was super cooperative, so I was really happy about that. And I called back the hospital and I was like, yes, I'm gonna come in for the procedure. And that was on a Tuesday, and the Friday I could come for the pre-procedure screening. But I was stressed out of my mind. I'm not gonna lie, I was so stressed. And the worst was the day before the operation. But I was prepared really well. I bought some extra pillows to put on my bed just to be comfortable. I changed the sheets on my bed, so they would be clean and fresh. I cleaned up the house, put everything in a washing machine, so that I wouldn't have to do a lot of work around the house when I was done with the procedure. I picked up some nice loose-fitting clothes that I could wear afterwards. I packed a little bag for the day itself. I got one of my colleagues from work, to pick me up and bring me home. It was so very nice of him to come pick me up very early. Although I said, well, I can go there by bike and you can pick me up and put the bike in the back. But he was like, no, I'm just gonna come and get you and take you home. I had to check in at 7 o'clock in the morning. So he picked me up at 6:30. Checked in 7 o'clock in the morning. And I went upstairs. And a nurse checked me off on her clipboard. I had to wait in the waiting room. Chatted a little bit with other people that had to undergo a procedure as well. Guess it was more like to relieve the stress than people want to talk, actually, Then I got called into the room where there were just the beds and the computers and stuff. And I don't really know what the name of the professions were of all these people, but let's call them nurses. Male nurse came to me and he asked me to state my name, date of birth, and what was going to happen to me. Because they have to check a couple of times to see if people still are in their right mind, And he checked my blood pressure, I guess. And he told me to take off my clothes and to put on this gown, actually, and put my clothes in a bag. He gave me I call it the IV fluid thingy. And I hate needles, and it stung like a bitch, to be honest, and kind of hurt my arm. But I was like, if this is the worst part, I'm okay with it, because I was really afraid that something would happen during the procedure. So I just laid there, staring at the wall, and my blood pressure was being measured. Every 15 minutes or whatever, like this thing around my arm would inflate and deflate, like automatically. And whenever nurses walked by, they asked if I was okay, so everyone was really tentative. And then 2 nurses, a male and a female one, came to me and they were like super friendly, and they told me they're gonna take me to the operation room. They wheeled me into there. I got some painkillers in the IV, and they say, oh, it's kind of cold, but I was like, I felt it like going into my body, and that was kind of painful and weird. But I also tried to, I don't know, kind of joke with them a little bit, just to alleviate my own stress levels. So I was like, no one's having a hangover here? And they were like, well, it's Tuesday. I mean, like, so I told them, I don't know, I mean, you could have some drinks on a Monday evening, with your stressful jobs and all. And everyone was like, kind of, I don't know, going along with it and just like joking around a little bit. And it was like a team of pretty young people, and I don't know, they were being really professional. They were double checking everything, and I told them I was kind of afraid because of this and because of that. And I asked them my questions. They answered all my questions. They put a blanket over me. And this one lady that came and got me a couple of minutes earlier, she just was like above my face, and I looked her in the eye, and she just kept talking to me, and she was like, yeah, you just have to inhale through this mask. Just let it happen, they told me. And I was like, I guess I inhaled like twice, and I was like, getting kind of dizzy or whatever. And the next thing I remember is that I woke up in a hospital bed. And my first thought was like, oh, damn, should have went to bed earlier. Because the evening before I went to bed at 12. But all in all, I guess I slept like 3.5 hours because I was so stressed out, and I had a really bad backache as well. I still was kind of tired, but I wasn't really able to go to sleep again. I didn't really feel any pain at the moment, which was kind of weird. I felt like pretty good. I felt kind of drained of a lot of energy. And when a nurse saw that I came by, he asked, you want a popsicle? And I was like, what? But also, yes, please. And afterwards, he just asked me how I was feeling, I guess. And I said, oh gosh, having a popsicle for breakfast. I mean, I really feel like an adult. I told him, and he had to laugh about that. Yeah, he let me kind of rest for a while and come to. And then another nurse came to get me, and she just wheeled me out of there. She wheeled me into this chamber where there was another bed, but the bed was empty, so it was a really kind of cozy, quiet room. I told her I need to pee, so she helped me, or I got out of bed. She didn't have to help me. Nothing hurt. I didn't feel dizzy, so I was feeling pretty good actually. But she helped me to the bathroom, and she waited outside of the door. And afterwards, she took out the IV thing. She gave me the instructions to take care of the wounds, because I had 3 incisions down there. Like 3 very small incisions. But there were, there was, I don't know how it's called, like thread put through it. And those weren't like, they didn't resolve, is that the word I can use here? They had to be taken out by my GP. So I have to call my GP in 10 days or so to have them taken out. And other than that, I just could take a shower, and she said that I had to let it air dry, really, as much as I could. So it could heal faster, and I had to take painkillers 4 times a day, 2 pills. And that's it, actually. She said, yeah, well, you're comfortable. You can put on some clothes, and yeah. So I already informed my ride that he could come at 12:30 in the afternoon. And he was there like 12:15. And while he got a wheelchair from downstairs, I put on my clothes, and I was ready when he came back. because you're probably not allowed to walk by yourself all the way to the car outside when you're post-surgery. But I felt really good, and maybe I shouldn't have been so enthusiastic. I mean, the painkillers were in my system still, I guess, and I slept for a very long time afterwards. But I was like, am I supposed to feel this good? I don't feel any dizziness or nausea. I was like kind of paranoid. I was like, maybe they just made a couple of cuts and just punched me in the gut and then sewed me up afterwards, and they didn't take anything out. Because I didn't feel any internal pain, really. And the incision sites weren't painful as well, but I felt my midriff being kind of painful, and this area here, above my collarbone, being painful as well. But I knew what to expect, because I read a lot about these procedures. And it's because they blow up your abdomen, actually, with like CO2 gas. When it's being released, it can push up your midriff or something, and that can be painful, or you can experience some shoulder pain or whatever. And it feels like I've been exercising way too much. I came home, and one of my girlfriends, she came here to cook for me, which was super nice and sweet of her. And everyone's actually taking really good care of me, even if it's from a distance. I got a huge ass box of fruit and nuts sent to me, and but yesterday in the evening I was starting to feel some pain at the side of the wounds, really. Even though I was taking my pain medication. I guess the worst part is over, because I had I guess a carefree operation surgery thingy. And that is what I was afraid about most of all. And something would go wrong. But everything went pretty good. And if they botched something there, I don't know, they didn't tell me. But in the evening I was starting to feel more discomfort, and I have to pee a lot. I don't know why that is, though. Maybe the painkillers or the IV fluids stuff, chemicals leaving my body. I don't know. But I really slept pretty good this night. And I wanted to take a shower, although I was kind of apprehensive about that. I was like, maybe I can just wash myself. But I really needed a shower. So it went kind of very slowly, and I peeled off the bandages. I was kind of afraid to do that, because like, oh, maybe I'll damage something, or maybe it looks so gross that I just pass out. But before that, or maybe I already loosened the bandages, I'm not really sure. But I became so super dizzy suddenly. It was terrifying, to be fair. I had to wait until this dizziness attack was over, which actually lasted not even more than 2 minutes, but it was very terrifying, because I was afraid of the possibility I could pass out, and bust those stitches open. But when the dizziness subsided, I went on to take a shower, which went pretty well. Although I was kind of afraid to use, like, how you call this? The cleaning cloth to scrub over my wounds. I didn't do that, so I just used the shower head to just make it a little bit wet and just wash off a little bit of dried blood, And I let them dry, and I put on new band-aids, because I'm kind of afraid to leave it just like raw and open like that. I mean, I'm wearing clothes, so they're gonna rub over it, and I'm just very afraid they won't heal nicely. So I'm walking around at home, like very slowly. I'm taking my pain meds, and it is bearable. I can get in and out of bed without too much effort. I can use the bathroom without any effort, really. But I'm still in quite a lot of discomfort, and it hasn't really dawned on me, I guess, what really happened. I mean, the week went by so fast, and I'm really thankful that they had um, some time for me to do the procedure. Because if they would have let me know, like, yeah, you're up in a couple of months, then I would have stressed the hell out for those couple of months. So I'm really happy I get this over with. I'm super hyped. It feels actually like an extension of International Women's Day, which was on Monday, like the day before, the 8th of March. And I got my procedure done the 9th of March. So this is like a huge milestone in my life, and I don't regret it at all. I'm really happy it happened. And well, there weren't any problems with getting some days off from work, and actually it would have been way worse also when this was to happen in July or whatever, because it would have been super hot and sweaty and everything, and now the weather conditions are actually exactly right. It's kind of cold outside, so I won't get like too hot here inside. So I'm doing pretty well, no regrets. I'm actually pretty proud of myself, and it's great to receive all the mental support and my friends also being proud of me, and it feels great. I'm really happy I could have this done. And the team that did the procedure, like, props to them. They were great and respectful and kind and professional, so I'll definitely send them a thank you card when I'm able to live through the aftermath of this all. And it was great. So anyone who's kind of child-free, but doubting herself about getting the procedure done, I would totally recommend this kind of procedure. But because it's not a very invasive operation, it's a minor procedure. You can leave the same day after you've gone to the bathroom by yourself, and you can stand up. You're good to go. But it's very important to keep a lot of bed rest, and I guess have a big social network around you, friends and family maybe, that can help you out. Because although I've always felt like this strong, independent woman, and I can take care of myself, I'm very thankful that there are people around me who can, I don't know, make me some food, clean up, because I'm really not in a mood for doing the dishes or cooking. I feel kind of guilty towards my cat because she wants to cuddle and sit on my lap, and I have to push her away all the time because I can't have her just like mess up my stitches. She means well, but she doesn't understand what's going on right now. So that was actually my terribly long story about me getting a sterilization. All in all, from beginning to end, it took some 5 months, I guess. When I got my referral to a gynecologist, it was the beginning of October, and now we're today's March 10th, So thank you so much for listening to my story. If you have any questions about this or whatever, if you want to tell your story, please leave your message in the comments, and you can also send me a personal message at ditchtheperfect@gmail.com if you want to talk about this more as a like-minded person maybe, or if you need some words of encouragement. I'm there. I'm here in bed. No, 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 no. See what I mean? I have to push her away and I hate it. Don't be mad at me, Jackie. So, that's it for now. Have a great day. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.